Hey guys, my name is Sandiso and welcome to my channel Tax Shelter. Happy New Year. This is my first video for the year. So, as you have seen by the title, today we're going to be talking deadlines, right? So, the first deadline for this year is, there's already passed actually. I'm doing the video on the 28th of January. The deadline was on the 23rd of January. So, on the 23rd of January was the last day to submit income tax returns for individuals who are provisional taxpayers. And I'm referring here to the 2023 income tax returns, right? So remember, tax season normally opens in July. Well, last year it opened in August. For the first time, I don't know in how long. But anyway, it opened in August last year. And then for non-provisional taxpayers, it closed in October. And then for provisional taxpayers who are individuals, please guys note this, individuals, we're talking individuals right now, not companies, not corporate returns. And then it closed on the 23rd of January this year. This year in 2024. Now, what I'm trying to say to you now is, if you have not submitted your 2023 income tax return, SARS is going to start issuing penalties. This is whether you're a provisional taxpayer or a non-provisional taxpayer. But the deadline for non-provisional taxpayer, for provisional taxpayers was on the 23rd of January 2024, right? Now, another thing that I need you guys to note is, remember in the past, right, SARS used to start issuing penalties when you have 2 or more returns that are outstanding, right? But that's no longer the case now. So if you have 1 return, in other words, if you have not submitted your 2023 return, SARS will start issuing penalties. For the people who are non-provisional taxpayers whose deadline was in October, I am 100% sure some of you, SARS has started issuing those penalties right now. If you are lucky, for whatever reason, SARS has not started issuing penalties to you, then please, you need to make sure that you are submitting as soon as possible. Now, with provisional taxpayers, your deadline was on the 23rd of January. You also need to submit as soon as possible if you have not submitted. Now, a quick reminder, which people are provisional taxpayers? These are people who, even if they are earning their traditional 9-to-5 income, but they also have other sources of income. Like maybe they may have rental properties, they may be earning interest, they may have, I don't know, but they're earning other income other than your traditional 9-to-5. Or some are people like commission earners. They sometimes do tend to become provisional taxpayers if they don't get SARS to deduct a certain percentage from their income. I do cover this. So if you are earning any other income other than the non-traditional income, and your income is above a certain threshold, then you might need to be a provisional taxpayer. Now, why is there provisional tax to begin with? So what happened is, remember when you earn the non-traditional types of income, there is no pay as you earn, no tax deducted from you on a monthly basis. Unlike when you work for an employer, the employer deducts tax, which is called pay as you earn on a monthly basis. But if you earn other incomes, there's no pay as you earn being deducted. So that means then what would normally happen in the past is, at the end of the year, after 12 months, SARS would say, okay, so you've earned 2 million. This is the tax that you need to be paying. It would be too much. So there was cash flow problems for people. So SARS then came up with provisional tax that at least people should pay twice a year. So how provisional tax works is, you sort of estimate what your income is going to be, looking at what you've made so far. That is the general way I can explain it. Obviously, there are situations whereby it's much more complicated. For instance, for industries like the fisheries and whatnot, because their things depend on how the environment is, and so it's much more complicated for them. But generally, you estimate what income you've made, and then you look at the income you've made, and then you make an estimation of what you're going to make over a year, and then you pay your provisional tax. Provisional tax is paid twice. It's paid in August as well as in February. In some situations, there might be people who need to do a top up. That would be a third provisional tax payment. It's rare, but it does happen. Now, what is another important thing about provisional tax that you need to know? If you underestimate your provisional tax, there are hefty penalties that will be paid. So just make sure that in your estimation, you try by all means to be as close as possible to what your income is. In other words, don't just estimate willy-nilly. If you need to, then get the help of a professional to help you with your provisional tax, because there are hefty penalties that need to be paid if you underestimate your provisional tax. Rather overestimate than underestimate. When you do overestimate, SARS will ask you for reasons for overestimation. Well, they rarely do, but they will. So that is what provisional tax is. I have done a video about provisional tax, but I just wanted to briefly explain. So that is the first deadline, the 23rd of January. That was the last day to submit your income tax returns if you're a provisional taxpayer. That's for 2023. Now, the second deadline that we need to be aware of is one, provisional tax for companies now. Corporate is due on the last day of February 2024. So that would be, so I said to you, right, there are two provisional tax payments that are done generally. There's another third one, but companies really need to do that, or people really need to do that. So there's two, right? There's two compulsory, if I can put it that way. It's in August and it's in February. So the August one you would have done in August, obviously, and then now there's a February one that you need to do. So that the due date for that is the last day of February. Again, guys, underestimation, that will cost you, because SARS will issue penalties for that. Number two, late submission and late payment, again, there will be penalties for that. SARS is very strict with provisional tax, unfortunately. So if you're supposed to submit on the 29th of February and you submit on the 1st of March, or pay on the 1st of March, unfortunately, the penalty would have already been issued. In fact, I low-key believe that SARS makes a lot of money from penalties with provisional tax, because really, especially when I used to work for accounting firms, you'd find that even the people who are doing provisional tax are so stressed during this time, because SARS is so strict with provisional tax. So they would need to make sure, sometimes people would stay at work up until midnight on that day, trying to make sure that everything is done. Because imagine a client that submits late and they have to submit R1 million. Boom, penalty, let's say it's 10% already, that's 100,000 rand. So that's very costly, and you would probably get fired or get into trouble at work if you did that. So provisional tax, SARS is very strict with it, especially with companies. With people, yeah, but with companies, they are very strict with it. So do make sure if you will be submitting provisional tax for companies that you are aware of this deadline that's on the last day of February. Very important. Okay, so those are the deadlines that I actually wanted to highlight. Guys, in this channel, just to mention, I'm mostly about income tax, and provisional tax is part of income tax. Yes, I do have a few videos that will talk about VAT and other tax types like pay-as-you-earn and whatnot. Well, pay-as-you-earn is basically a type of income tax as well that's deducted from people. But what I'm trying to say is I try by all means to stick to income tax, and the reason for that is because this is the tax that affects everyone, really. In terms of administration, that is. Obviously, the tax that we all pay is VAT, because we buy goods, all of us. But then what I'm trying to say is administratively, income tax affects every working person. So that is why I concentrate on it. And also, in the past, my videos have been mostly about individuals. I will try and incorporate small businesses as much as I can this year. And another thing that I'm going to be incorporating this year is some financial education, if I can put it that way. But I'm not like, not gonna be budgeting tips and saving, investment, and whatever. I'm going to be talking more about how do I put this, financial planning type of situation, because that's what I'm doing, right? That's what I'm currently busy with right now. I just completed my postgraduate and diploma in financial planning, because my passion really is estates. I love estates, and I'd love to get people to a point whereby they understand the whole idea of estates and how they work and how to protect their assets and how to plan for succession, really, because most of us, you will find that we have people have accumulated the wealth, but because there's no succession plan, they lose it, you know. So I'm very passionate about estates, and I'd really love to dwell more into that this year. And it does affect tax, really. But then yeah, I know most of you followed me for income tax and what, but that is something also that I'm going to incorporate. And no, I am not going to ignore tax. I'm still going to continue trying to educate as much as I can about tax, and also trying to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to better navigate this tax complicated tax situation in South Africa. So yeah, again guys, I appreciate your comments. If I don't reply to your comment, it's most likely because I didn't see it, or I don't know, but I try to reply to everyone as much as I can. I see them and I like your comment and whatnot, but I do want to emphasize that I can't consult in the comment section. If you want a consultation, then you're gonna have to pay a fee. And the reason you would want a consultation is if you want me to help you with a specific problem that is not general tax information, or it's not something that I've covered. In other words, you want me to help you with your personal taxes, then I would have to take time out of my day to actually do that and consult, and actually do it. So that would require a consultation. And if I didn't make you pay for that, it would be unfair to my clients who are paying for the services that I'm just going to be offering to you for free. So unfortunately, for the people like, can I pick your brain? Can I ask you if I'm earning this much, how much tax should I be paying? I can't answer those things, guys. Unfortunately, you have to pay for those kind of services. If you want help, if you want expect help, you have to be paid. I try by all means to give out information and educate and but obviously I can't do specifics, okay, because everyone's different. Every tax person's situation is different, and also I can't generalize, you know, when you're trying to ask me about your problem. Oh, hey, I earn 10,000 rand a month, should I be paying tax? Or how much tax should I be paying? There are so many things that go into that. There's what are your deductions, as the fringe benefits. Do you have a company car? Do you have medical aid and whatnot? Not. So those are things that I need to look at, which is why I'm saying that I can't just boom be like, okay, no, this is what you should be paying. No. Also, in order to calculate that, I would have to go and actually calculate it, which is going to require time and expertise from my side. So if you really want to get in contact with me, or you want me to do something for you, then please, the details, the email is on the description. Thank you guys. Please like and share. I'd like to grow the channel this year and actually get to a point whereby maybe I'm monetizing it or anything like that. Otherwise, yeah, thanks.